Well, it's a privilege to be with you all. Um, when Zara asked me to speak, I took a lot of thought into what I wanted to present. And so I'm going to start with, I have a slideshow that I've prepared on Google Drive. And as you can see, this is what I usually put up at the beginning of the year. I say, I'm so happy that you're here and welcome. And I want to welcome all of you here. It was very interesting to hear all the different levels of experiences and where everyone is from. And so I hope today you'll be able to take away one good tip, at least one, that you can use in your classroom right away. So I'm going to be talking about technology in the classroom, but I'm also going to be talking about some teacher tips. So some of you will find some things helpful and others of you will say, well, maybe I could tweak this for my age group. So I tried to come up with some ideas that I thought could benefit pretty much all grade levels. And I have some examples of my classroom as well. So I just wanted to introduce myself, as Art so graciously did. I was a teacher for 36 years at the Azusa Unified School District. I have a bachelor's in education from the University of La Verne. I have a master's and reading specialist credential from Cal State Fullerton. I taught grades kindergarten through third grade. I mentored teachers, which meant working with them, guiding them, helping them through teaching. I was District Teacher of the Year, and I received awards from the California Reading Association and American Literacy Corporation. And like what Surpazan said, I'm an avid learner. The entire time I was teaching, I was always learning and growing. And really, I was learning from other people. What I think is so exciting about today is there are so many of you from so many different places. And the power of technology is that you can interact with people just from wherever you are. And so many times during the pandemic, when I was teaching, I was able to meet other people from other schools. We would meet online, we would share ideas, and it was always a really powerful time for me to learn. Oh gosh, hang on one second. That's my beloved dog. Let her, no, she's good. Okay, I was afraid that was going to happen. The most important thing we're going to start with is building relationships. When those students come into your classroom, a lot of times they're very, very nervous, as we are too. And I think it's always really important to get to know the teacher. And so I always share personal things about myself, about my family, about my pet. And it's really important for them to get to know each other also. What really used to shock me a lot is that they knew people, but they didn't always know everyone's names. And so in the first few weeks of school, I would spend a lot of time doing activities for them to get to know each other so that they would feel comfortable. There's lots of things you can find online, Google icebreakers or get to know activities. I have one coming up that I thought would go across all grade levels. That would be kind of a fun thing to do for students to get to know one another. And of course, it's always important to establish expectations. Tell the students what kind of behavior you're looking for and how they can behave properly in class. That along with relationships, it's sometimes nice to have a poster or a visual of what your expectations are in the classroom. So I took something off the internet that I thought was quite nice, but a lot of times when I would do things in the classroom, I would have the students make it themselves, because then they have more ownership of it. So we would talk about expectations and they would share some things that they think that we should have in the classroom. And then they could draw a picture or they could write about it and you could post it. It could be a very nice visual. And then when someone's having a little bit of difficulty, you could just, with your hand go, remember this expectation or this rule we talked about, and get them back on track. So as a little icebreaker for my students, what I used to do is I would say there's two truths and a lie. One of these statements below is true, and one of them is a lie. So I said, this is a picture of me when I was in kindergarten. I love cats and my favorite food is pizza. So they could talk among themselves and then they would come up with what they thought the answer was. Well, I like cats, but I love dogs more. An icebreaker name game that I thought was really kind of nice. And I would do this even if I was teaching Sunday school, in the classroom, wherever I was. What I love about this video is it's with adults and it's just a way for people to get to know each other. So I'm going to play this video clip.
Is there sound?
There should be.
Okay, who's been sitting at the desk all day?
Excellent. And I know some of you teach, and when we watch our students in class, whether it's kindergarten, eighth graders, college level students, after sitting a while, we get a little fidgety. So this is a great way to get some fidgets out before you have to sit for a while. And it's a great tool that you can use with your clients, your students. So why doesn't everybody stand up? And we're just going to take a minute and let's just shake one arm up. Shake it, 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 shake it. And that's a beautiful visual as well. Shake the other arm out. Shake it, 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 shake. Oh, and shake everything out. Shake everything out. Let's make a little ha noise. And ha, 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 ha. Oh, that feels good. And you know what I found? I found that if something feels good to me, it usually feels good to someone else. And so let's just start with a little name game. And this is something that I've used with kids and adults. And without even thinking, I'm going to come in the middle and I'm going to do a gesture and say my name. And then you will all repeat my name with your voice and with my gesture. So I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to go, Kathy. And let's see it and hear it. Kathy. Excellent. And what's yours? Say your name. What's your movement? Val. 1, 2, 3. Val. Nice job.
Teresa.
Teresa. Nice one.
Donna.
Pam.
Hannah.
Hannah.
Charisma.
Krista. Krista.
Christine.
Christine.
Jen.
Jen.
Izzy.
Izzy.
Snoozing.
And let's just get the energy. Let's have little twinkle fingers for the kids, and let's just move in. Let's have the microphone, and let's move in with a ha noise. Ha. And come back with ha. Ha. Go back with ha. Go in with ha. And with ha. No, just shake everything out. Go ha 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 ha. Okay, and you are warmed up. Thank you.
All right, let me go on. So if you are interested in any of those, I just Googled, I found something that I really liked. And again, when you're with the students, you want to give them breaks. And sometimes playing a game, talking about your name or singing a song is always really good. And I'll go into that a little bit later in my presentation. Another strategy that I used a lot and can be used all grade levels is think, pair, share. It's a collaborative learning strategy. Students think to themselves first, and then they sit next to someone, or teacher pairs a student with another student. They share their information or their ideas, and then the students share their answers with the group. And this could be done, let's say, if you're studying Bible verses, for example. Another great thing that I loved to do in my classroom so much was going on virtual field trips. And what's great about technology is you don't need a lot, like a laptop. I know some of the churches have I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of it. Not a document camera, but a projector. Yes, a projector where you can, plug into your laptop. But here's something that I've done. What I did was I Googled Etchmiadzin in Armenia. And what I'm going to do is I save the link and I just put it in a Google Drive, or you could put in Microsoft Word, whatever thing you like to use. And I'm just going to click on it and it's going to take us to Etchmiadzin, where someone's going to give us a field trip.
I think I'm gonna start cutting carbs. I need to drop my belly fat.
If you want to drop.
Here. And this person is not Armenian, which I think is even more exciting for students to see.
Baret, Privyet. Welcome back, my fellow travelers. Today, I'd like to welcome you from the holy city of Armenia, Vagar Shabat. Before, it was known as Etchmiadzin. Located just 20 minutes outside of the capital city of Yerevan, this city holds many important churches, which we're going to check out today. I can't wait to show you and explore. Let's go. Here in this complex, you can find one of the oldest cathedrals in the world. I'm going to take you around and try to describe everything as best as possible. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's go. behind me is the Holy Church of Archangels. It is the latest addition to this complex, built in 2011. Right next to the Church of Holy Archangels is the Gevorkian Seminary, which used to teach theology to meet the educational standards of the clergy at the time. Best way to describe this place is like the Vatican, without the crowds, of course. So I highly encourage you to come to Armenia. More people should give this country a chance.
So if you were studying hot cars, there you have it. What's great about a video like this is you can stop and pause and you can discuss, and you're actually seeing it like you were actually in Etchmiadzin.
Etchmiadzin Cathedral here in Armenia is the oldest church, built in 303 by Saint Gregory the Illuminator himself, right after he converted Armenia to Christianity.
Okay, I'm going to stop because I think you've got the idea about this. So we're going to move on. But virtual field trips, I enjoyed so much. All right. The other thing I wanted to share with you is YouTube has a lot of great videos. And I thought if you were teaching shotguns, or you wanted to teach Haimer, for example, you could do it with lyrics underneath, and then the whole class could participate. Here's an example.
Watch what boiled eggs do to your body.
Sorry about my commercials.
Have you ever noticed how you could easily eat 3?
Oh, whoops, pardon me. Let me go back for a second. All right. Another thing I was thinking about is I'm from St. Gregory, Pasadena, and Father Sarkis is my parish priest. And I didn't even tell him I did this, so hopefully he's going to be fine about this. But I thought, you know, so many times students have questions and they would like to get some answers. And obviously, Father Sarkis is busy on Sunday church service. So I thought an idea might be that students could make a class video where each student has an opportunity to ask their parish priest a question. Younger students could be videotaped by the teacher, or older students could videotape themselves. And then each student would begin by stating their name and their question. And then the video could be submitted to the parish priest. And then the priest could look at the questions, or you could write them down and say the names of the students and give them a paper version of it. And then they could make a little videotape answering some of the questions. This could be done for the entire Sunday school. It could be done by each teacher. It could be done with grade levels, whatever would be convenient for you. But I thought this would be a nice thing to be able to do. And it also brings that parish priest into your Sunday school when sometimes they can't, in a very personalized way. Maybe you're studying about a certain holiday and you want him to explain it or give more information about it. This would be a great opportunity. Another thing that I did in my classroom that I love to do is a green screen. And a green screen is what they usually do on the television when they do the weather. But all you really need is a tablecloth. You could buy it at the Dollar Tree, or green fabric. And what you do is you put the students behind the green screen and you take a picture or you videotape them. And this can be done on an iPhone, an Android phone, or an iPad. I usually did it with an iPad. And the one that I used a lot in the classroom was called Green Screen by Doink. But there's another one also from Android called KindMaster. It's like $4.99. You can keep it forever. It's a one-time fee, and you can do lots of things. You could even do it with your family and friends. And here is an example of one of my students. This is Celis. At the time, I was teaching first grade, and we were making a video about our favorite book. And so he's going to share his.
Hi, my name is Celis, and this is my favorite book. Is Reading is Not Easy. This is my favorite page because he's saying whoa.
So then I just took this.
You can find this in Mrs. Hagen's library.
Then what I did was I took it and I placed it with a background that I picked. And so here he is doing the exact same thing, but now he's got a background and I made a little something else.
And this is my favorite book, is Reading is Not Easy. This is my favorite page because he's saying whoa.
And what I did was
You can find this in Mrs. Hagen's library.
And another way that you can do it is with a picture. And here is Emily, and we just happened to be dressing up for Halloween. So here she is in her Halloween costume. And then all I did was I just put a backdrop behind it. So you could do it for Christmas. You could do it with so many different things, or things that you're learning about. It was always fun to do that. And sometimes I was able to share them with parents. Another thing you could do in the church, and this could be done at your specific Sunday school or at other Sunday schools. You could do big buddies, little buddies at your particular parish, with where children could learn about church topics together and they could share the topics with each other. You could have times maybe once a month when the kids gather together and they work on things together. Another thing you could do is you could go church to church. For example, I'm from St. Gregory, but I could connect with another teacher from St. Peter who maybe is teaching the same grade level, and we could go online together. And when I first started doing technology, I did it very simply with Skype. And you could do with a laptop or an iPhone, and we just had one device and we just asked questions, we said hello, and it was always something that they looked forward to. I connected with a teacher online in Canada, and so we were able to send each other videos. We wrote books and sent it to the students, and they also were able to write letters. But even you can see right now the power of Zoom. So many of you are from so many different places, but you could connect with one another in such a fun way. And children and even older kids love it. Now, I brought in authors in my classroom, but you could bring in any guest speaker. During the pandemic, we brought the Los Angeles County Museum of Art into the classroom. I brought the Arboretum into the classroom. It's just connecting with people and just asking them if they would like to come in. And sometimes they can do it as a live video, like a Skype, like what I did with Margie Markari, and you'll see her in just a moment. Or you could do it with they could pre-record it and send it to you. So here's just an example. I love that she was a children's book author. It was World Read Aloud Day. I saw that she was Armenian. I was so excited that she was Armenian. So I connected with her online. I asked her to come in, and she did. And I recorded it so that I could have it. So let me just show you. I'm not going to show you the entire clip, but I'm just going to show you parts of it so you can kind of see the power of someone coming in.
That would be great. That's fine. My name's Margie Markarian, and I'm a children's book editor and author. And this is my picture book. It's called The Princess and the Cafe on the Moat. And it's a fairy tale. And I wrote it. It's basically a story that's filled with, all the things you would expect in a fairy tale: a castle, a princess, a little bit of magic. And there's also a little problem to solve. And the message in here is about kindness and sharing talents and taking time for others. So I usually, when I tell this story, I am able to have kids help me tell it. And I invite children in my audience to wear the hats to represent the characters in the book. So since I can't be right in your classroom, I thought I would show you the hats that my characters wear, and it would be a way of introducing you to the characters in the book and to tell you a little bit about the story. So right now, I don't know if you can see it, but I have on my little princess crown with flowers. But when the princess travels, she roams her castle at the beginning of the story, looking for ways to keep busy. And the first person she meets is a court jester who juggles in the hallway, in the courtyard, really. Okay, so that's the juggler. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. She also meets a wandering minstrel. Here's my minstrel hat. And minstrels make music.
Okay, I think you get the idea of that. So she reads her story with the students, and at the end, she even asks them, they're able to ask her questions and they're able to interact because it's live. But this could also be pre-recorded. So if you're maybe out and about, you go to a church event and you meet someone and you think, wow, they might be really nice to have them come in the classroom. They could pre-record or they could do it live. Something about doing it live makes it really, really special. I used to have students that would walk by when I was doing something live, and they would be all sad because they were like, oh, you're doing that again. I wish I could come back. And that always made me so happy. It showed me how much they enjoyed it. So with all grade levels and including us as adults, human beings need breaks when learning. So as many minutes as you are old, they say in research, that's how much time you should stop and then give a break. So when I was teaching first grade, I would teach for like maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then we would take a break and we would do a dance. There was an app that I used called Go Noodle, but there's lots of things you could do. You could sing songs, you could be doing some movement, whatever the case may be, but they should get a break. And then we would go right back into our learning. Of course, all the times that I was taking breaks were always when principals or important people would walk by, but then I would explain why I was doing it and everyone understood perfectly. The other thing I'm going to talk about too is parent support. Parents always want to help. I'm sure they come to you all the time and say, what can I do? What can I do? Let parents donate items to the class. You could request items that you can make through a parent letter or a class newsletter. At the time when I was teaching and I didn't have book tubs, I went to Trader Joe's and I asked them if they could donate bags. And they said, yes, just send us a letter with your letterhead on it and give us your nonprofit ID number and just give it to us. And then we will give you what you need. And they were always generous. And I was able to do it for many, many years. As a teacher, many times if I came across something that I thought somebody could help, or it doesn't hurt to ask someone if they can donate something, if it just comes in a natural situation, then I would do it. Because so many times people do want to support, but they just don't know how to do that. I hope you have found this helpful. I hope I haven't overwhelmed you with too many things. But if any of the things that I've showed you sound interesting, I hope you'll just try at least one of them and see how it goes.